Hi, I'm Davey from MK Dub. Like many of you, I've been seeing a lot of ads and hype around the two new Moog products, right? That's the Labyrinth and the Moog Muse. I'm sure the Labyrinth and the Muse are great products, but the whole kind of rollout campaign and the marketing campaign has left me a little bit cold. Let's dig into it after the open. I've got nothing against Moog. They make some great products. I wish I could lay hands on a Moog 1. You can see I have the matriarch behind me, and when it first came out, I paid full price for it, waited it to get shipped to my house from a reputable dealer, and I created a series of videos on it, right? So I am definitely not a Moog hater. I do appreciate the products. You know, and this might seem ironic coming from somebody who has a YouTube channel and puts out YouTube videos and gear videos, but the kind of the influencer campaign that I've been exposed to, you know, via my phone or my internet or whatever browsing, you know, has kind of left me cold on not just the Moog products themselves, the Labyrinth and the Muse, but it's kind of left me cold on the entire kind of YouTube quote unquote, you know, synth community, right? Like, and I use that word very loosely. I'm not sure if there's a true community per se. I think that words like community and culture are very, very, very overused and maybe even misused. We should not mistake lifestyle for culture, and we should not mistake consumerism for a community. That said, right, you know, I do have my YouTube channel, and, you know, I love this gear. I love kind of talking about it with you all. I don't get any products sent to me, right? And maybe it's easy for me to say this because I'm not getting products sent to me. People have reached out in the past. I've had conversations, but, you know, and I would never want to make a video strictly as a business arrangement, you know, like that. Just, I've got better things to do with my time. I've got easier ways to make money. I just want to be able to help others go through this journey. So the thing I guess that maybe leaves me a little bit cold is you've got, you know, these influencers, and, you know, I got nothing against them, right? I've got Andrew Huang's book. I like watching some of their videos. I don't have any problem against people making a living. But, you know, I've been around the block a couple of times. I was around when indie rock first launched, when we used to have discussions about whether or not a band going mainstream signing to a major label was selling out. And of course, the answer was yes, they were. You can't really blame them, right? People have to make a living, but it does diminish the culture. There's no two ways about it. When the best of us sell out, it diminishes the culture, right? It turns it into a commercial enterprise, and it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to really have a commercial enterprise and culture linked up together unless you've got some very extenuating circumstances. You know, for the most part, we're not going to go into that. That's another video. The synth culture, synth gear doesn't really come into that. As for the products themselves, the Labyrinth, I've tried all three of the other Moog kind of, you know, semi-modular Eurorack format, the DFAM, the Mother 32, the Subharmonicon. I've made some cool videos with at least the Mother 32 and the Subharmonicon, but I have never kept any of them. That just doesn't fit into my workflow. The Muse, I like my analogs mono. There's just something about a mono analog synth that really speaks to me, right? If I want a polysynth, I would probably go for a character over any real analog capabilities, right? So something like the Juno 106, which I still think about and ponder getting again, just the character, even though it's extremely limited, I think is more valuable than a really extensive analog synth, right? Like the Muse promises to be, or let's say like the Poly Brute or whatever. And when I think about it, the only real polyphonic synth that I have is the Prophet X, which I think combines that kind of analog creaminess with those filters, and then just being able to play just piano sounds and stuff, right? So if you're gonna have a polyphonic synth, then I would just want to be able to play, you know, almost like Rompler, you know, a montage or whatever. At this point, the expansive possibilities are more important to me in a polyphonic synth than the analogness. So I've had the Prophet, Prophet Rev 2, right? The Poly Brute, and, you know, they really expanded the capabilities, But, you know, when it comes to polyphonic synth, I do just prefer something that is a little bit more limited, but has more distinguished character, like the Juno 106, or like the OB6, for instance.